I've been wanting to read this since like last week, and it's still on my list. Do this video. You know, Michael Snyder's the Economic Collapse blog.com. He says, "Are we being set up for a crash? Stocks hit a level only seen during the bubbles of 1929, 2000, and 2007." He actually posted this a little bit about 2 weeks ago, but I've seen this a week ago. Man, do a video. This is a good, you know, it's a good one. And again, I'm doing 2, and as you'll notice, 3 videos now. Sometimes I'm now mixing it up because I'm just like, gosh, I never thought I'd get to the days where I'm doing like 3. That's why I said I'm trying to keep them short, and I'm still finding myself 15, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Damn. I don't want to keep people glued to their screen or listening to me for a freaking hour, you know, every morning. I want to keep it to 15 minutes or so, but again, I just sometimes I can't. So I'm going to try to blast through this one and keep this one pretty quick. Michael Snyder, the Economic Collapse blog. This guy is definitely on point with the stuff that the research and the charts and the numbers he gets. Will the financial bubble that has been rapidly growing ever since Donald Trump won the election suddenly be popped once he takes office? Could it be possible that we are being set up for a horrible financial crash that he will be ultimately be blamed for? Yesterday, I shared my thoughts on the incredible euphoria that we have seen since Donald Trump's surprise victory on November 8th. The the U.S. dollar has been surging. Companies are announcing that they are bringing back jobs to the U.S., and we are witnessing perhaps the greatest post-election stock market rally in Wall Street history. In fact, the Dow and NASDAQ and the S&P 500 all set new all-time high records again on Thursday. Now, this was about over a week ago now. What we are seeing is absolutely unprecedented, and many believe that the good times will continue to roll as we head into 2017. What has been most surprising to me is how well the stocks of the big Wall Street banks have been doing. It is no secret that those banks poured a tremendous amount of money into Hillary Clinton's campaign, and Donald Trump had some tough things to say about them leading up to the election. So you wouldn't think that it would be particularly good news for those banks that Trump won the election. However, we seem to be living in a bizarro world at the moment, and in so many ways, things are happening exactly the opposite of what we would expect. Since Trump's victory, all the big banking stocks have been skyrocketing. But are these stock prices justified by the fundamentals? I'll tell you my answer immediately. Not even thinking, brain cell didn't even get fired off. Instant response, hell no. Fundamentals, please. Fundamentals are there, but they don't matter when all the markets are controlled by the club. So, yeah, fundamentals don't matter at the moment. Of course not, but during times of euphoria, the fundamentals never seem to matter much. Stocks were incredibly overvalued before the election, and now they're ridiculously overvalued. Earlier today, a CNBC article pointed out that the cyclically adjusted price-to-earnings ratio has only been higher than it is today at 3 points in our past history. 3 points in time in our past history. I think you already know how this is going to end because I already read you the title, but let's go forward. The cyclically adjusted PE CAPE, a valuation measure created by economist Robert Shiller, now stands over 27 and has been exceeded only in the 1929 mania, the 2000 tech bubble mania, in the 2007 housing and stock bubble. Alan Newman wrote in his Stock Market Cross-Currents letter at the end of November. Newman said, even if the market's earnings increase by 10% under Trump's policies, we're still dealing with the same picture, overvaluation on a very grand scale. And of course, a historic stock market crash immediately followed each of these 3 bubbles. So are we being set up for a huge crash in early 2017? There are some out there that believe that this is purposely being orchestrated. For example, Mike Adams of Natural News believes that the markets will be deliberately and destructively imploded under President Trump. Not because he wants them, Trump that is, because the club does, and they want him to look bad. Right now, the U.S. stock market is surging. The Dow leaping towards 20,000, a number rooted in fiscal insanity and delusional expectations. There are no fundamentals that support a 20,000 Dow, but fundamentals have long since ceased to matter in a financial world hyperventilating on debt fumes while hallucinating about utopian economic models that will soon prove to generate fools instead of generate real wealth. Today I'm going on the record with a prediction that I'll offer with near absolute certainty. The rigged markets that now seem to defy gravity will be deliberately and destructively imploded under President Trump for all the obvious reasons. There will be financial chaos like we've never seen before, investors leaping off tall buildings, banks declaring extended holidays that freeze transactions, and California pensioners slitting their wrists after they discover their promised pension funds were just vaporized by incompetent bureaucrats. On the other hand, there are others that believe that Trump is just walking into a very bad situation and that a crash would be inevitable no matter who was president. And I do stand by that too. I've already said that numerous times. Whoever, and it could be Hillary, could have been her. Whoever walks in that White House won't matter. It's no different than me, if this magic 8-ball was like one of those old bombs you saw like on the old cartoons, and I light the fuse, and I hand it off to the next person coming in line for the presidency. I don't care who it is. I can't even see him behind the door. I just know it's going to be one or the other, Republican or Democrat. I'm tossing over there. They come out and catch it. This bomb, so to speak, is still going to blow up. Doesn't matter if it's Trump or Hillary. That's the point. History tells us that there is no possible way that stock prices can stay at this irrational level indefinitely. But for now, a wave of optimism is sweeping the nation, and many of those that are caught up in it will get seriously angry with you if you try to inject a dose of reality into that conversation. But like I said yesterday, let's hope that the optimists are correct. A survey that was just taken of 600 business executives found that 62% of them were optimistic about the U.S. economy over the next 12 months. Incredibly, that number was sitting at just 38% the previous quarter. For the moment, business leaders seem to be quite thrilled that we have a business executive in the White House. Hopefully, Donald Trump's business experience will translate well to his new position, and it is certainly my hope that he is as successful as possible. But even during the campaign, Trump talked about how stocks were in a giant bubble, and that in the euphoria that we have seen since his election victory has just made that bubble even larger. Throughout U.S. history, every giant financial bubble has always ended very badly, and this time around will not be any exception. Trump may get the blame for it when it bursts, but the truth is that the conditions for the coming crisis have been building for a very, very long time. I don't disagree with anything Mr. Snyder of the economics collapseblog.com has just said. Every once in a while there might be something, I don't know if I agree with that. No. Michael Snyder, I'm Jason 4 and I approve his message. 3 stock market bubbles, they were doozies. And now we have everything lining up just exactly as those were. If you can get out of your investment, take a hit, whatever you have to do, I'm telling you, I would not trust this market. I would not be playing this game. It's ran by the club, and as you know, you can't trust the club. They'll be out. They'll sell all their stocks before you even had a freaking clue that the market was going to crash. Those guys ain't making mistakes, okay? So I'm going to try to make a habit now. I keep telling myself, before I do the video, say this, and I forget it. Now it's the end of the video, I'm going to say it now. I'm trying to put each day that I do videos, like 1, 2, 3 videos or whatever I do, which is usually at least 2 videos, maybe 3. I'm going to put, which I'm going to try to do, for sure in the description box, a link to the playlist. I'm going to put these 3 videos in the playlist so that when you watch the first one, or you can go straight to the playlist, as a matter of fact, as soon as you see the video, and it should start you hopefully out, I think, at 1, and then automatically go to 2, automatically go to 3 if there's a third one, so you don't have to click and go back and do all that. I may try to put a thing on the screen the video part, you know, so you don't have to go to the description box. I think I can do it there too, where I put a playlist link, I think. That way you can just click that as soon as the video plays. I'm gonna try to make a habit of doing this going forward. So the playlist will be Monday's playlist, Tuesday's playlist, Wednesday's play, you know, each day. So make life a little easier for you, because I tried it before and it didn't go that way just because you watched the video. You literally have to go to the playlist first. So even though I put the videos in a playlist and you watched one of the videos, it didn't go to the playlist. So I'm like, all right, how can I make this work for these people to make it easier for them to just press play and sit back, you know? Anyways, that's all I got for you. Take care. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. December 19th, Electoral College Vote Day. Fingers crossed that 35 or so people don't flip-flop on us. I don't think they're going to have that many people. I think the people who understand why we voted for Trump, some of them electoral college voters obviously, realize I'm not flip-flopping. Not going to happen. But you never know. It's been a very big concern of mine lately. Ever since he got elected, as a matter of fact. I've done 6 or 7 videos now on it. And then we have January 6th to wait for, to see how Congress approves or disapproves of those votes, which I think is where they may screw us if it's not here. And again, getting 35 people to flip-flop is a huge task. I don't know that they'll be able to do it. But George Soros did in fact say before the election, I showed you the video where he said it, we know Donald Trump will win the popular vote, but we're going to put a bunch of money and media and things in front of the electoral college voters to get them to switch. That's what he said. I watched it 3 times, by the way. Take care.